Good afternoon, everyone. I'm ChanceRockett. This is the presentation for the pitch deck for creativity and entrepreneurship. The product that I came up with is called the Seaweed Free Me, and we'll get into kind of why I had this interest in this problem and where the personal story began. So, one of my favorite hobbies is to deep sea fish. I love to do this anytime I get some free time, as a lot of people do, especially here in Florida. And often when you're deep sea fishing, you're really targeting areas that have structure and serve as a hiding place for fish. So a lot of times this structure is seaweed. It's going to be sitting on the top of the surface of the water or just under the surface of the water. And like I said, it gives a place for the fish to hide. So that's where you're going to want to fish, and that's where you're going to want to be. You're going to be most productive fishing. The problem is a lot of times when you're fishing these areas, your hooks, your baits are going to get caught on the seaweed when you're dragging along trolling for these fish. And this really eliminates your chance of catching a fish. If you have a hook that's got seaweed clumped on it, or a bait that's got seaweed clumped on it, the fish aren't going to eat that. They're not going to know. They're going to know it's not natural. They're going to most likely swim away from all your other baits as well. So it's really eliminating your chance of catching a fish. The whole reason you're out there. So I kind of knew that there was a problem. I was done with the aggravation. I didn't know any solutions. So this was a big personal problem for me. So the main problem, like I said, is many of the most productive fishing areas become unfishable because your baits are constantly getting caught on this weed. You're going to eliminate your chances. It's aggravating. You have to clean it off every time. And it's preventing commercial and recreational fishermen alike from catching more fish, which is the whole reason we're out there. So just kind of give you an idea, an illustration to understand these yellow stars or blotches I kind of made as patches of seaweed, if you can imagine. As you're dragging your baits along through the water column, some of them are going to get caught on these seaweed. As you can see, the last pink one just above the fish has a piece of seaweed on it, and the one close to the boat, second under, also has a piece of seaweed on it. So as you're dragging, these get caught, and it really eliminates your chances of catching any fish on that bait. So, I knew something had to be done, and there was no current competitors on how to solve this problem and how to fix this. So you could fish very small baits that are less likely to drag down on the water column and could skip over the weeds. But these aren't really going to catch big fish. You're limiting the chance of you catching a big fish by using these small baits. Another option that most people do, like myself, is every time that your bait is caught with the seaweed, you have to reel it in all the way to the boat, clean it off, and then send it back out. And as you're just still dragging along, that's a lot of work, especially if you're doing that 20, 30, 40 times a day. It wears you out. It's very aggravating as well. Really, the customer story is that recreation and commercial fishermen are facing this all around the world, especially in Florida, especially in these areas that people often go deep sea fishing. And failure for the customer results when the baits continue to get hooked on the seaweed. That you have to keep reeling them in. It eliminates your chances of catching a fish. It grows your frustration. You get aggravated, and a lot of times you just give up fishing that area. It's too hard. It's too much work. You're not being productive. So what's the point? You're going to go to an area that's often doesn't have nearly as many fish as that area. So the friction occurs with there being little to no way to solve this problem. And it's a shared frustration among fishermen who seek to catch more fish, especially on these productive weed lines and such. So, for this annoying problem and this aggravation that the fishermen face, what's our solution? What are we going to do about it? How do we eliminate this? My proposition is a biodegradable fishing clip. So first off, you're going to secure this clip onto your baits around the hook. It's going to serve as kind of a barrier to where that the weeds could get caught on. So as you're dragging your baits, instead of having an open exposed hook that could catch seaweed, you're now going to have a line that kind of deflects it over the top of your bait, limiting the amount that you're getting caught on this weed, increasing the chance that your bait's in the water for a big fish to come eat. And really, how does this work? Are you just going to put a clip on it? No, it's going to be a biodegradable clip that it has a lightweight so that when a fish actually attacks the bait, it's light enough to break off. It's going to break off, it's going to expose the hook, you're going to get a bite, you're going to catch your fish. However, we wanted to make this not a plastic hook or just a metal clamp that could go around your bait, because what happens when it breaks off? It's going to flow into the ocean. We wanted to make this biodegradable so it's safe for the environment, safe for conscientious fishermen, and also increases your chance of catching a fish. With this product, we made some critical assumptions that people like to fish, and they will buy this product to help them. the assumption also that it can be patented and approved upon so that people can't copy it, and the assumption that fishermen are interested and willing to pay for new products. This goes with studies and research that fishermen actually have the disposable income and are interested in new innovation and interested in products that are going to help them better their chances of catching fish. So our overall value proposition is eliminating that aggravation, increasing the chances of you catching a fish, the whole reason that we're out there. It's offering a novel solution, the problem that doesn't really have a set alternative. Like I said, it's going to limit the aggravation, and we're seeing a trend in fishing. It's being a bigger hobby. It's growing over the past 5 years, so our market size is there, our opportunity is there, and like I said, the studies show that fishermen have the disposable income and they're willing to pay for these products with these novel ideas that are going to help them. So overall, we're taking our seaweed-free meat clip. We're eliminating the aggravation that fishermen get from reeling in and cleaning off the seaweed every time. We're increasing their chances of catching a fish, the whole reason that they're out there. And we're being safe for the environment with our biodegradable clip. All great things, all great value that we're adding to the fishermen, recreational and commercial alike. Thank you for watching my presentation. If there's any questions, I would be happy to answer those.